Now it's official.
Now it's official.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean Neff. I'm a Master Health and Wellness Coach. This is Dr. Kevin Fox.
Hello.
Master Chiropractor. And we're the FitHealth Pros. So we just kind of want to introduce ourselves to you, let you get a feel of who we are, what we're about, and just let you know that we want to help you. You know, we get questions every day from our clients of this or that pertaining to the health field or health and wellness or healing, you know, etc. And we want to be able to answer those questions on a bigger scale, so that's why we're doing this YouTube channel.
Absolutely. So today what we'll be doing is introducing ourselves, kind of telling you how we got started and what's intended for you guys, what kind of work we're going to put in to bring you guys the best new information regarding fitness and health. So Sean, why don't you go ahead and start us out, give us a little background. How did you get started?
So I got started in California, actually. We're in Arizona now, where we're based. But back then, I was an actor in Los Angeles, and I had a job waiting tables like other actors out there. Got to a point where I didn't want that as my survival job anymore. I had a friend of mine who was starting a fitness company, brought me in, paid for my first certification, and then just kind of grew from that. Did boot camps, trained athletes, helped people with injuries and rehabilitation and things like that. And over the course of time, it became my number one. I mean, there's nothing I'd rather do than help people.
Nice.
So
good. So what would you say that set yourself apart versus other trainers? I know you have a lot of certifications.
yeah, I think speaking of certifications, a lot of trainers out there will get one or two certifications and just kind of, you know, it's a job. It's not really a career. They're out there to make their money, to pay the rent, et cetera, et cetera. Over the years, I've just been able to help more and more people, and I put all of my focus into it. So when, like I was saying earlier, a client will ask a question, I'll do a deep dive into it and get as much information as I can, and then if there's a certification for that, I just go ahead and get the certification, whether it be sports injuries or core development or green living. I got like over a dozen certifications now. So that kind of sets me apart. So it's the education, it's the experience. You know, I've been doing this over 15 years. I've seen just about every kind of body type come through my door, or me going through their door if I'm training them in home or online. And that's the biggest part of, I think, what sets me apart, that education, that experience.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you've put in a lot of work and there's been some time and effort there for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say as far as keeping up with the latest trends? What are you doing? What are you seeing in the industry?
You know, it's interesting with you know, health and wellness changes every day. It's kind of like psychology, where it's a young enough science, or even chiropractic, where it's a young enough science that there can be a better answer tomorrow than there is today. So keeping up on the latest news, scientific journals, fitness journals, even basic magazines, Men's Fitness, Men's Health, etc., kind of keeps you on top of what's going on, what the trends are, what is going to possibly be a flash in the pan. Again, with the experience that we have over the years, we can kind of tell if something just isn't good for someone's body, whether it be nutritionally or physically, where it's like, well, everybody's doing it, so it must be good. Not necessarily. So those are the type of trends I really like to keep on top of.
Okay. So we were talking about continuing education. Is there anything that you have to do for continuing education?
You know, every couple of years, 2 to 4 years, depending on the certification, you re-up that certification. Now, it's not necessarily the same cert. It's just do something. Get another certification in something with continuing education. Okay. You know, there is enough new information and new types of certifications out there to always keep it interesting. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I'll kind of keep my finger on the pulse of, well, that would be kind of cool to learn about. Right. So when my next cert is up, it's like, well, I already have that.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
I already know what I'm going to work on next.
Right. It sounds like you're always ahead of the game.
Trying to be.
Yeah, that's
Trying
awesome. That's awesome.
Trying to be.
That's awesome. Well, tell me a little bit how business has changed from when you first started up to date. What things you're doing now?
You know, when I was first beginning training people, you know, it was very much, everything was in person. You know, billing was in person practically. You know, all the sessions were in person. Now, so much is shifting to online. So I train probably half of my clients now online.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, various states, California, Florida, Kentucky, Louisiana. So I am not just hamstrung by location now. So that's a huge difference in fitness now.
Gotcha.
Also, scheduling can be done online now. You know, email is everything for communication now, plus text messaging and things like that. When I first started out, it wasn't necessarily giving you that much ease of getting in contact with your clients.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It's changed it's really great.
yeah, it's awesome. Everything's at a fingertip now, and everything's across the miles now, which is awesome. Just like these YouTube videos are across the miles. I mean, we can be worldwide. YouTube is a worldwide platform.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for sharing all that.
You got it.
Yeah.
So let's hit back to you,
All right.
Dr. Fox,
Now
Dr.
I'm
Kevin Fox. So tell me a little bit about how you started in the first place.
Okay. Well, I got into chiropractic because I have a couple uncles that are chiropractors, and family members here in Arizona were going to chiropractors. And when I was younger, I actually had a really bad bout of allergies and sinus pressure. And I just remember taking all the medications and the inhalers. I actually had to go to the emergency room, get a steroid shot to kick it, and then they put you on the medication. And back then, I'd go to work and it would just be, you know, you'd be in a daze. And so I just remember my mom talking to my uncle, and he said, oh, get him into the chiropractor. And so I started getting adjusted, and it really helped. At the time, I didn't know why it helped or how it helped, but it intrigued me. In addition to that, I was into starting to work out. You know, I was 19, 20 years old at the time, so starting to work out in health and wellness. And I felt, you know what, this is pretty good. I think I want to lean toward doing something to help people in this manner, whether it's going to be a physical therapist or a chiropractor. I just didn't know at the time. So I went to Idaho and I saw them working, and I went to their offices, and all the patients just loved being there. And I just kind of put what I saw there and compared that to what the medical doctors were doing, and it wasn't as stuffy. People, it was open, and there was activity going on, and the staff was friendly, and the patients loved what they were getting. And I said, yeah, this is really
Let's jump into this.
a great thing. And so I went off to chiropractic school and did that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've been doing this a long time now. What year did you start?
96.
So 96. So you
Yeah.
got tons of experience.
Yes.
And have seen, again, about every body type, every malfunction, malfeasance within your different clients.
Yeah.
What sets you apart in how you treat those clients? I mean, especially now, after all this experience that you've gained.
Right. So while I was in school, we do have an opportunity to go and learn different techniques that's outside just the standard of what's taught. So there's basic, and then there's more advanced things. So even while I was in chiropractic school, I took advanced training, especially in adjusting techniques. So that, plus all the experience, when someone comes in with something that I didn't know how to work on, or I thought, well, geez, I do this and this happens every time, and they're not getting the result, we got to think outside the box and come up with something else. So kind of prided myself over the years of getting more tools in the tool belt and
Kind of creating your own.
yeah, my technique is a little different than the guy down the road's technique. So I use manual adjusting and instrument adjusting, nutrition counseling, exercises. You know, we work with personal trainers, we work with fitness centers that are around the block, we work with nurses, and doctors. We work with all the MRI companies and radiology companies. We work with neurologists. So we really have a team approach. In my practice, we have medical providers on staff as well. So we are a overall encompassing type of practice. So I think that's what really sets me apart. And then by having those other type of team members and that experience, I'm always learning more.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, and also when you have that much going on within one office, that's a lot of different trends to kind of keep your finger on too.
Right.
So, I mean, you have your latest trends in chiropractic, but you also need to kind of keep on top of everybody else in your office too and their trends.
Right.
So how are you able to keep up with all of that?
That's a good question, and this is an important thing to realize, is that there always are new trends, and there's trends coming that you guys don't know about, but we're getting hit with emails and gurus and what's happening next, and what's going to be the next thing to help people. Sometimes, and this is my philosophy, is to kind of take it slow. So we don't want to be always the first, but we want to
Feel it out.
feel it out,
Yeah.
but provide what really
Same.
works. So the first thing that's kind of popping in my head right now is stem cell injections. I mean, they were just going gangbusters, and I had to take a step back because I've heard some negative things and some positive things. Plus, it's very expensive, and it may or may not work well.
Right.
So again, my philosophy, and it's always, and especially in my practice, is let's do the thing that really works for the least amount of money. Let's not gouge the insurance companies. Let's help patients get better in a timely manner.
Sure.
And really, that's what people want. They don't care really that it's the gold-plated adjusting instrument that you use. They just care.
Pass that cost along.
Yeah, I don't
to
have.
the clients.
I don't have that headache.
Right. Right.
Do you have a real expensive table? Well, it doesn't really matter. The proof is really in the result. Is someone getting rid of their headaches, getting rid of their pain? Are they losing weight? How's that going to their quality of life? Can they pick up their kids? Do they feel when they look in the mirror that they like themselves better? That's really the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to stay on the trends, and I'm always reading, just like you were saying, the Men's Fitness, all the chiropractic journals, there's Spine Magazine, and all the other things too that we look at.
So do you utilize some of these for your continuing education too?
Right, yeah, so my continuing education, I have to have 12 hours of continuing education every single year, with every other year 2 hours of how to provide notes to the insurance companies, to auto accidents, to attorneys.
All the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. Yeah, but, starting back in '96 up to today, every single year at least 12 hours. And so I probably have at least 5 out of those years is a nutrition. So they may not be the same one, but I have nutrition year 1, year 5, year 15. I have adjusting technique year 2, year 10, year 12, and so on. So whether it's a special population too. So out here in Arizona, we have a lot of the 55, 65 plusers, right? So
Sure.
their nutritional needs are different. Their exercise needs are different. Their adjusting needs are different. So we know how to take care of them.
And you can kind of pick and choose the courses.
Right. Our state actually gives us an online choice. We can go in person and go online. I've been doing a lot of online stuff. Just it's quicker.
So that's kind of sort of the shift for you too, has also been to more online.
Right. Yeah.
Any other shifts that you've noticed?
The adjusting chiropractic kind of goes in waves. I'll get reports from patients that, oh, isn't it great that you guys are integrating into the medical field? And I just remember, yeah, we were integrating back into the medical field back in the 80s, and then tried to do it in the 90s, and then the 2000s. So, on my end, it's still a slow go, but on my patient's end, they know that they get the results, and that by combining what we have is working for them. The other thing I think, and what I do personally, is we're keeping in communication with every single patient on a regular basis with emails. All of them get text reminders to do things, to come in. Some clinics are going hybrid, so they may, instead of seeing someone who hurt their back 3 days a week or every single day for an adjustment, they just may do 2 days for adjustments, and then at home give them a piece of equipment like a TENS unit or a muscle stim unit to do
Sure.
at home
They
every
do
day.
their own electric
Right.
stim.
So that hybrid, that's kind of where it's going. And you know, in today's world, what can we do to provide people something that they can do at home? And in the past, people wouldn't do their exercises that much at home, truthfully. So we do still show people that, but you know, things are changing fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So these are some of the things that we want to impart onto you guys as well. You know, if we learn new stuff, we're going to let you guys know through this medium. If we have some questions that stump us and that we have to do a deep dive on, well, of course, it's probably going to stump you guys too. More than likely, maybe not. But we want to be there for you.
Right, and we're both excited to put this media out there, to do work on the back end, to bring you guys new information, but also to see what questions you have. You know, we think we know what's current and what people want to know, but once we start doing this, I'm sure that we're going to start seeing some interesting questions.
Some
and,
stuff that we don't
Yeah.
necessarily know that, you know, and that's exciting for us is doing that deep dive.
Yeah, so
You
that's
know?
that's what we want to do. You know, so whether it's, you know, what bed to buy, what's the latest craze in fitness, how do I get stronger faster, how do I avoid back pain, that's what we're here for.
Yep, nutritional needs, you know, fad diets. Is this a fad diet? Is this something that's going to stay? What are the negative side effects, if there are any? You know, there's so much
Right.
in health and wellness that we can touch upon. And, you know, every video is going to be different. You never know what you're going to get. We
Right.
don't even know what's going to pop out.
Right, so we'll be doing stuff here in the office. We'll have some fitness models to kind of show you guys how to do stretches and exercises. We'll be out maybe at a park, we'll be out shopping, maybe at at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Talk about restaurants, maybe in the
How
kitchen.
to best shop, healthily
Yes.
for your household.
Is that a word? It is
I
now.
think so. I think so.
Right.
It's coined, if not.
Yes.
But how to shop? You know, hitting certain aisles, not going down certain aisles at all.
Right.
You know, there's no point going down the chip aisle or the cookie aisle if you're trying to eat more healthy. Now, if you have kids, how to have a healthier grocery experience with kids in tow who always do want to go down the chip and the cookie aisle.
Right.
You know.
So right away,
Lots
I
of
mean,
stuff.
hopefully we gave you enough information to get to know us a little bit. You'll get to know us a little more each video, kind of what our backgrounds are, how we kind of came about to be the humans that we are today, and
Quirks
really,
and all.
you know, yeah, everything.
Yeah.
So, FitHealth Pros. If you want to start the trend out right now, be early adapter. Go ahead and like us and smash the subscribe button, and we will do our best for you.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys.
All right.
We hope to do well by you.
All right, have a good one. 18.